everybody, and welcome to the seventh EduMatch Tweet and Talk. We are so happy to have you here. So please follow along with us on our Google Hangout on Air, as well as our Twitter hashtag EduMatch. So check us out at edumatch.education. What we do, we have a goal to connect educators all over the world along similar interests. We are 7,000 strong, and we want to get more people, more conversations, more dialogue going. So if you're so inclined, just check out our website, edumatch.education, and there you will find a Google form where you can fill it out. And with that information, we can add you to our Voxer group. We can also set you up to auto-RT your blog post, and we can connect with you in many different ways. So tonight's topic that we're going to be talking about is student advocacy. So this is a lot of topic with a lot of room for conversation. So just wanted to go ahead and have people on the panel introduce themselves. So we'll start first with our moderators this week. So Danesa.
Hi, everyone out there. I'm Danesa Menge. I'm a 7th and 8th grade ELA teacher and tech lead at my site in Oakdale, California. Happy to be here. Excited to talk about advocacy.
Fantastic. And Shana.
Hi, I'm Shana White. I'm in Gwilt County, which is in Metro Atlanta, Georgia. I am a middle school technology coordinator there, and I'm happy to be here as well.
All right, wonderful. So Danesa and Shana are our moderators for this week. We also have a fantastic panel lined up for you, so we will push it over next to Chris.
Hey everybody, Chris Rogers, born and raised in Chester, PA, educator in Philly, doing library, technology, English, and other things. Glad to be here.
We are happy to have you, so thank you so much for joining us. And next we have Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Gwilt. I am in Troy, Michigan, just outside of Detroit, and I'm a high school teacher. I teach math and biology.
Wonderful. We are very happy to have you here. And last but not least, and let's kick things over to Sean.
Hey there, I'm Sean. I teach 3rd grade in St. Augustine, Florida, and Jennifer, I actually used to live in Ferndale, so that's pretty cool that you're from Troy.
Small world indeed. Yeah. So great that we're making this EduMatch here. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Danesa. Shana's handling the Twitter side for us. So Danesa, if you want to go ahead and drop question 1.
Sure. So our question tonight, our first one, is how can you empower students to find their voices in and out of the classroom? Anyone?
Oh, I got.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so listening, right? I think listening is really truly important. I think it's less about empowering student voice, but then listening to how students are already voicing themselves in the process. And we do it in a number of ways, whether but through silence. You know, silence can say a lot. You know what I mean? And just listening to students, I think, is way more important than we have on pushing students to speak, because they're already speaking in so many ways. So I just like to start there.
You know, that's so true. I think I was in a conference and we talked about silence being such a big speaker, so to speak. You know, not saying anything also says so much. So I think that's a great point.
In my class, we used Genius Hour a lot last year, and what that did, I found, was it got the students to a point where, I don't know, they have a lot to say, but they don't always know how to show what they really care about. And the more we did it, the more they were able to find their passions and what they cared about, and to do things that shared what mattered to them in the world. And it led into a lot of different things that I think were really powerful for the kids.
Fantastic.
Anything else? Genius Hour? Or, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead, Danesa. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if anyone else uses Genius Hour or Passion Project or 20% time to give their students voices in class. I know I do.
Yeah, I do a little bit as well. We tried this year to do Genius Hour, and it didn't go over as well just because there were no systems there to kind of check progress along the way. There was no accountability, but we're going to try again next year. So it's going to hopefully be a very, very productive experience. But I know that one thing that has really helped us has been student blogging, particularly in response to social issues. So there was, there's been a lot going on around the world. And throughout the year, there's been different times where students have kind of done their own research. We talked about bias. We talked about things of that nature. And then they were encouraged to blog individually or collectively, just so that they knew that their voices had power. So that, and also, encouraging them to take a stand no matter what age they are. And I see that you posted a great comment from Joanne.
Yeah, Joanne on Twitter, she was saying that giving students allow them to make decisions in their learning is a great factor. There's some people that give menus, or sometimes I'll ask kids, what do you think about this topic? Where should we go from there? So does anyone else do that?
This is Jennifer. This year we're gonna take an approach of having kids choose some ideas that they want to go with. I'm teaching Algebra 2, so I'm going to give them some options to try to show me what they know, and I'm going to have a lot of tools. We have Legos, we have Matchbox tracks, we have all kinds of things that they can go ahead and use one of the options that they have to create a project that's going to show me that they know what's going on.
That is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to share something similar too. I just heard about it this week. I could find the link for it, but I heard about a very interesting way of having decisions in the learning process. The students and the teachers. The students did like a Shark Tank panel, where the teachers had to present their writing assignments to a panel of the students, and the students got to they negotiated with who would do it. Would I invest my time into the teacher's question? I thought it was a very interesting reversal of the way we go about writing workshop and finding interesting prompts. There is an article about it. Maybe I'll tweet it out with the EduMatch hashtag when I find it. A very interesting approach.
Yeah, that is amazing. I love that creativity that's coming with that. So I see that we just had Howard join us. So Howard, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself, and it's good to see another familiar face on deck.
Good to see you too. Good to be here.
All right. So could you tell us a little bit about what you do, where you teach?
Sure. I'm currently a computer technology teacher at Thomas Pullen Arts Academy, and I'm also a PhD student working on my dissertation, how to use social media in the classroom to engage kids.
Fantastic. We are so happy to have you here. So I see some great stuff has been coming up in the chat. So Shana, did you want to go ahead and mention what you said?
Sure. Julie just mentioned the fact that getting to know kids on a personal level is key, because then you can empower them to have their own voice if you know them. So she mentioned that on Twitter, which I thought was really interesting and also very powerful too.
All right, fantastic. And I see that Danesa wrote a comment in the chat, so if you wouldn't mind just bringing that up, because I see that you were addressing Jennifer with it.
Oh yeah, the Shark Tank. I was just tweeting that out too. I love that idea of the using a Shark Tank to give student voice with their projects is worth the time or not. So I was curious, Jennifer, how would you do that?
Oh, and on a note on the Shark Tank, I just posted the whole article that should tell the story about it to the EduMatch hashtag. So look out for that too. That might help in telling you. But Jennifer, if you got it too, that'd be great to help.
No, I was just commenting on you, Christopher. That was a great idea. So it's good that you put that out there, because I've got nothing on that one.
Yeah, and that's one of I guess I should say one of the things I always say is great great poet steal, good teacher cite. So I whoever posted the article is on the hashtag, and I want to give all credit to them too. I just saw that it was the awesome thing.
Very cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Sean, I saw that you unmuted yourself. Did you have something that you wanted to that you wanted to add?
Yeah, one of the things that I did last year, I started doing, whenever we did anything in science, I'd have my kids, I'd give them three choices. I'd say, you can write about it, give me a blog post, do a poster as long as the poster shows exactly what it is that you needed to learn in science. Or you could make me a video explaining the scientific concept that you just learned. And my students and I all felt that they did a lot better understanding what they did than if I handed them a worksheet. So we're going to expand that this year, and we're going to have our own YouTube channel as well. And we're going to be putting together magazines. So that way there are just numerous ways for my kids to publish both their own ideas and their response to what they've learned. So that way the control is as much as possible in their hands when it comes time to work and comes time to share what you've learned and share what matters to you.
I love that, and I always I do the same thing, give lots of options, but in addition to the options, give a student's choice, meaning with teacher permission. So a lot of times I have ideas that I hadn't even thought of, or they want to use a different format or a different tool or a different, I don't know, something I didn't even know existed, because they're way more tech advanced than I am. But giving them just that option that they can also come up with something on their own that I didn't think of gives them another voice. So yeah, good point there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see that Jennifer just put a comment in the chat. So Jennifer, could you please expand on that?
Yeah, I've been teaching Algebra 2. I know that a lot of my students miss out on concepts in Algebra 1, and when they come to Algebra 2, they're struggling. So I always give them the option to retest. Whether I do mastery quizzes to make sure that they know all the concepts before we take our test, but I also allow them to retest as many times as they need to show me that they learned it, and that way, going forward, it's way easier because they already know the concepts and have reinforced them.
That is fantastic. And Chris, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I think another thing that's really important when it comes to voice and being part of a conversation at his classroom is having students, is really debating with, working with the students to struggle over why this class is important in the first place. I have seen so many teachers, and I did it a couple times too, where you impose the meaning of what English is supposed to be, or impose the meaning of what math is supposed to be for, and impose so many like worldviews and ways of navigating through a subject on to children. I think it's really important that we struggle with that, and we struggle to find a meaning together, and use those different directions to really bring a lot of differing directions and divergence into the classroom that makes it more diverse, that makes it more rich, that makes it more complicated, and makes it all the better for learning.
I agree 100%. Was just having that discussion a couple of days ago on Voxroom about letting the classroom be more inclusive of all different lenses that the students may bring, and we were given the example of a history class and how history is traditionally taught in one way, maybe the way the textbook states. However, I know that myself, as when I was in K-12, then I was at a disadvantage because I just, I had been taught a different way from home. So definitely being more accepting of that divergence, as you said, Chris. Absolutely. So and I see that you just added maybe what the safe American retelling is. Absolutely.
Yeah, history is one of those subjects where we really have to negotiate what is the meaning of this story and what's the agenda behind it. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Thank you very much. And Jennifer just added a great comment about gamification. Do you want to say a little bit about that?
Yep, I'll be picking yours and Chris Aviles' brains coming up here. I've been working for a while trying to figure out how I was going to gamify my class, but with the menu options they're going to have for what assignments they do and for what projects that they do, I'm going to assign point values to them. So they may have a choice between 2 or 3 projects, and if they want to do all 3, then they get the points for that, but they don't necessarily get the grade for it. So it gives them the opportunity to learn more, but not have a grade attached to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Danesa just put a great comment in the chat about a project that we're collaborating on. So Danesa, could you just shed a little bit of light on that?
Yes, sorry, finding my unmute button. Yeah, I'm really excited about our global project of bringing students' voice into history. Since we were talking about history and how we have to be the safe American retelling, so why not have students tell their own histories in their areas, and not just I'm in California, but I know a lot of us are on the East Coast, but also globally, and then all of us pulling all that together, and whether it's a video or a book or a hangout, I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet, but it's really exciting to give students voice in that type of way, and I think it'll be amazing.
Yeah, same here. I am totally excited about it, and this is what happens when educators get to have these conversations. So speaking of that, would love to thank everybody so much for all of your great insight. That 15 minutes flew by like that. It's insane, but definitely wanted to thank our panel for your fantastic insights, as well as everybody on the EduMatch hashtag. See that there's still some great conversation going on. Don't let time put you in a box. Continue with the EduMatch hashtag, and continue to air your thoughts. So once again, just wanted to remind you, chat will be storified and available as an iTunes podcast. Check out bit.ly/EduMatch podcast to subscribe and to look at past episodes. In addition, we're going to take a little break next week, but the week after that, then come back and join us again, same bad time, same bad channel. We're going to be talking about privacy and digital citizenship concerns in 2015, and we might talk a little bit about drones, wearable technology, and what that might mean for privacy and for digital citizenship. So check back with us at bit.ly/tweettalk8. Anyone can be a panelist. Just leave a comment on the Google Hangout on Air page. We would love to have you. And last but not least, check out our guest blog post this week by Jennifer Casa-Todd by going to edumatch4education.com. So thank you so much for everybody. Thank you so much for giving up your time and joining us in this conversation. So have a great night. Salud.